Hello, welcome to my presentation. My name is Bella Irons, and as being an executive tech consultant for over 2 decades has taught me, as well as publishing multiple personal literary pieces that are now housed in museums around the world, and helping with emerging technology by contributing internationally and founding the World Metaverse Council. All of this has helped lead to this doctoral research, which I am presenting to you today. So thank you for being here. Why immersivity for a compassionate technology? Let's start from the beginning. Imagine that you're in what we call an immersive experience. Many of us are familiar with at least one concept of this under the name metaverse. As the video on this slide shows, major brands such as Prada, Gucci, and Nike are in the metaverse now, designing immersive experiences. But as research has shown, immersive experiences are for far more than simply brand engagement. Immersivity is impacting self-learning in dynamic ways. VR, which is the acronym meaning virtual reality, is classified as a 3D computer-generated simulated environment that can be interacted with in a realistic way through special equipment. Many people might understand VR as Meta or Facebook and through their fully encompassing headset. There is also MR, which stands for mixed reality, which a lot of people have seen in the recent ads for the upcoming Apple Vision Pro. The major difference between VR and MR is that in MR, you can see the real world around you as well as the layered immersive world, whereas in VR, you are completely immersed in a virtual world. I am developing my proprietary dissertation immersivity tech within MR, so participants can see multiple realities within this one. But no matter the top brand involved or the type of metaverse it is, there is a major aspect of this technology's development that is lacking, and that is compassion. But what is compassionate technology? Compassion, as defined by the Oxford English Dictionary, is a strong feeling of sympathy for people or animals who are suffering and a desire to help them. So for immersive environments to be compassionate, the participants should have our unique psychological, somatic, and emotional needs considered by the technologies we are engaging with. That if our technologies can be designed to sympathize with our needs, technology can enact compassion towards our participation. Now let's step into my metaverse. The metaverse example on this slide is a version of what my eventual dissertation research will become. It was built on the free internet and mobile accessible platform called Spatial.io, which offers an open source and inclusive approach to public engagement, much like arts-based research does. It is an immersive experience that shows the various elements you can encounter within a forest, such as trees, clouds, and a butterfly. By demonstrating my lived phenomenology for others to experience, there is an abundance of information and ideas attached to each item that I have translated through the various organizational charts listed that somebody can participate with. You can see elements that we all experience in the real world, sights, sounds, smells, and feelings associated with each item. But in the real world, as we grow up, our caregivers help us incrementally learn how to accommodate and acclimate to these potentially overwhelming encounters. But who is our caregiver within a technology that we've never engaged with before? Where is the sympathy for our unique accommodations that are needed for these new realities? What accommodations do you need? Do you cover your ears if the sounds are too loud in the forest? Who taught you that? Whatever happens in real-world experiences could transfer to immersive ones too. So technology needs to be developed from another positionality besides the current top-down structures to be truly sympathetic. Say you become disoriented when you have a VR headset on for over an hour. What would you do to accommodate this experience? Take the headset off, right? But is there another option, just like you have in the real world? No, unfortunately, right now, there are no accommodations like that because technology is not developed from individually based needs, and therefore it cannot develop a sympathetic design, let alone have the ability to do something to reduce suffering. Research methodologies for determining participants' needs can be descriptive research, which aims to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon, but is sometimes hard to determine a cause and effect relationship with participants offering socially desirable responses. Another is ethnography research, which is a qualitative research method in which a researcher studies a particular social or cultural group with the aim to understand it. But despite a researcher embedding themselves into a group, their own cultural biases can still skew information. An alternative is arts-based research, which can solve the challenges of descriptive research by directly engaging the participants in the process and not just through static surveys, interviews, or questionnaires. And it also helps advance how humans understand and describe or translate their use of technology, which is otherwise known as human factors. Arts-based research can also solve challenges within ethnography research by involving the participant directly in the immersive experience and therefore making the engagement specific to their unique needs and accommodations. Compassionate technology developed through ABR isn't a new concept. Other researchers have been speaking towards the missing human factors element of immersivity, such as Joshua A. Fisher, Ph.D. And methodology researcher Patricia Levy agrees that ABR has a great potential to collaboratively produce knowledge, pointing out that ABR has the ability to make research accessible to broad audiences, making ABR creatively unique and helping expand human factors knowledge production and not be an afterthought, as Professor W. Patrick Newman states. Building blocks of compassionate technology through an integrated approach. My transdisciplinary research integrates fields that can build upon a participant's human factors, specifically immersivity to translate experience, axiology to address values, phenomenology to provide positionality, and the philosophy of technology for a basis of innovation. Immersivity is a translative technology into intimate experiences between humans. Axiology processes participant intrinsic or extrinsic values that helps establish an understanding of their particular needs. Phenomenology examples first-person experience as a reference point for a participant's positionality, helping establish their human factors. And philosophy of technology, extended through ABR's public participation model, can help establish the consequences of immersive technological innovation. Where do we go from here? As I've proposed, reevaluating the way our current technology is developed allows us a new opportunity to establish a technology with a strong central focus on people's needs. I have exampled how methodologies can help further immersivity research and how ABR in particular offers a wider exposure to human factors through public participation. By integrating the approaches of fields including immersivity, axiology, phenomenology, and the philosophy of technology, we can build towards a future with a truly compassionate technology. Let me say thank you. I realize how precious your time is, and I appreciate you watching my presentation on developing compassionate technology through arts-based research.